Hello everyone, I have a card making video for you today. I'm showing you some free printables that Queen & Company released that you can download if you like, and I'm showing you some of the products we're going to be using today. And I'm going to be playing with these beautiful, amazing sequins that I designed for Spiegelmom scraps. They're called Sierra Nevada sequins. They're so pretty. I love them, and I really, really wanted to use them to create a shaker card for you today. So my thought process behind this particular card was that I wanted the sequins to be a subtle detail. So you're going to see how I do that, and these cards turn out just beautiful. They're not they're kind of like a more understated card design, which I really like. By doing them this way, you can put any sentiment you want. So those printables are from Queen & Company, and they are really nice sentiments for cards that you might be sending out during this time. And I just wanted to use, my original plan was to use some of them on the front of my card as the greeting, but as I started to do the card, I decided that I would just put the greeting on the inside because I didn't want to take away from the beautiful front of the card. So I'm just cutting these apart, and I'm going to go ahead and set them aside because I was thinking about maybe die cutting them, but they're really thick, so I'm not quite sure. I ended up just freehand cutting them because my dies wouldn't fit to cut them nice. So this is all some nice basil marshmallow cardstock, really nice thick cardstock. When I was kind of stash diving the other day, I came across some of it and thought that I would go ahead and use it. I also have some other cardstocks. I have some Nina and some Gina K. So I have lots of cardstock. I don't need to save this for mixed media layouts or anything like that. And it's 8.5 by 11, so I thought it'd be nice. It would make a nice heavy card. And since we're going to be putting some weight on the front of this card, I thought that that would work pretty well. So I'm going to grab my old trusty Sizzix die cutter here, and I'm going to go ahead and cut one of these front panels. So this is the wallflower panel from Catherine Pooler. This comes from A Cherry on Top, and I'll leave the link below. It's a die cut that will cut like the whole front of your card, and it's so pretty. I actually have plans to put it on a layout coming up, so you can be looking forward to that for one of my design team projects this month. For A Cherry on Top, I want to go ahead and use this this wall plate, but for now, this was the first time I used it, and I decided I would just do a card. And again, I really liked the design and thought it would work for a number of different uses. So I'm just going to go ahead, I'm going to die cut the front panel, and this is going to be, it looks like, you can see here how pretty it is. So what I did was, after I had die cut it, I am inking the entire card front with Tattered Rose Distress Oxide ink. I'm using my life-changing brushes from Persnickety Prints, listen to me, my life-changing brushes from Picket Fence. Oh my goodness. And I'm getting a really nice heavy layer of ink on that. And now I'm going over this with my Ultinew embossing pad. I almost pulled my Ranger Dauber out, but you know what? I really, really like Ultinew embossing ink. It's just super sticky, and it's super cool, and it's awesome. Now I'm going to try a new product. So this is Tattered Rose Distress Oxide ink, and now I'm putting on Tattered Rose Distress Glaze. This is a new product from Tim Holtz. I really like it. It's like super shiny, and it's really, really cool. And putting it over, so when you ink something and then you put this over that inked bit, so pretty. So when I picked the colors, I only got 3 colors, and I got 3 colors that coordinate with Crepe Paper's Magical Forest, and then also to coordinate with this, some of my sequin mixes from Spiegelmom scraps. So I'm just going to put like 3 layers of embossing powder over this entire card front, because I really wanted it to be really thick. The more layers you put over top of the more layers of embossing powder or this distress glaze that you put onto a product, the more saturated the color is, which is really cool. There is a lot of differences between this and just a typical embossing powder, and it's really kind of fun to play with. So I really like unusual embossing powders. I tend to use the ones that are a bit different. Like I love the ones from Emerald Creek that have all the little chunky bits in it, and this one is just really a different type of an embossing, like a glaze, and it's really cool. So yeah, I'm just going and putting a second layer over, and I'm just going to keep layering on and get a really nice, deep, dark color on this card front. So this is one card, and then I did make a second one, and the second one will be at the end with the photos. So you can check those out at the end. The second one this is Tattered Rose, Distress Oxide, and the Tattered Rose Glaze. The other one I made was Rusty Hinge, in case you're interested if you see the close-ups and you want to get that one, which is much darker. That is Rusty Hinge. And so I'm just going to keep going here. I'm going to add 3 layers. I'm going to get a really nice thick coat of this Distress Glaze over my panel. And you can see how beautiful and pretty and shiny that is. I think it turned out so, so cool. So now I'm going to grab one of my very, very favorite shaker, products. So I'm going to use these We Are Memory Keepers fusible sheets again. I have used these a bunch of times, and I cannot tell you how awesome they are. They are available out of Cherry on Top too. They're 12 by 12 sheets of acetate. And so I grabbed a scrap piece of acetate, and I'm just going to glue this card panel right down to it to help me build my shaker. And then once that is dry, so once the glue dried, I just trimmed it out, and it was great. It was ready to go. To make this shaker, I am using these Doris foam strips, but I have to cut them in half because this shaker front is so delicate that these really thin foam strip adhesives were too thick. So I cut them all in half. It was a little bit tedious, but you know what? It worked out perfectly, and I just love how it turned out. And then I'm using these teeny tiny little strips of foam adhesive to go ahead and put around the entire outside of my card panel here. And now I'm adding these beautiful Sierra Nevada sequins so that I have this fun shaker element, but it's subtle and elegant. So I feel like these cards could be used for any kind of card. It could be, a happy thank you card, but it's also subtle enough that it could be used as a sympathy card or a thinking of you card, something with a more somber message, because it is a really subtle look with this, even though it's a shaker card and they're a sequence, but it has this subtle, elegant look to it that is a little bit different than what you might expect that you can get with with using sequins. So I'm going to attach this to the card front now, and we are ready to go. So that was super easy and fun. I paired the Tattered Rose with the Sierra Nevada sequins, and then I also did one that is much darker with Rusty Hinge Oxide and Rusty Hinge Glaze, and then I used Foxy Roxy sequins on the second darker one, and you can see these at the end. If you would like to grab yourself some of these beautiful sequins, I will be using them again in other projects. They're so pretty. These Sierra Nevada sequins, have we discussed how much I love designing sequin mixes? I think we have, right? These are so, so pretty. You can use my code Sarah15, but right now you can use the code CLEAN to get 30% off of your whole order. You can use my affiliate link down below, which I would love. And here are close-ups of all of the cards. So there's the one that I created today on the camera. And then there's that second one that I created that was a much darker with the Foxy Roxy sequins. All right, thank you so much for joining me today. Have a fabulous, fabulous rest of your week. I will be back tomorrow. Bye.